Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Steph and this is Ordinary Plant Girl. If you are new here, thank you for clicking on this video, and if you are returning, thank you so much for spending more of your time with me. Today I have some, to me anyway, exciting Anthurium updates. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do, and those of you that have been following along know that I have been kind of conducting, you know, I'm doing the lighting experiments. You probably saw the last video where I went through some updates. But what I wanted to do was show you guys the updates of the ones that are in the east-facing window, which are getting primarily natural light, and the ones that are in the plant room that are getting 45, 70, 80, probably, depending on where they are, 100, let's just round up to 100 watts of light. Now, in the last video, I did go through the foot candle differences and everything, so I'm not going to go through that here. But I did want to try and show you guys some of the differences of the plants that I'm having in the east-facing window and in the plant room. I'm also going to incorporate some plants that you probably haven't seen that I have, and just ones that are starting to put off some growth that I'm really excited about. You'll see me looking because I can see all of them on the windowsill, and they just look so beautiful right now. But you will see in a minute why that is. If you've been following along, you know that my Anthurium collection is rapidly growing, and now I'm to the point where I need to slow myself down. Slow. So a lot of my Anthuriums I got as, seedlings. There were the imports that I was getting at the beginning of 2022, and then I just did a large import haul that was sent to me from Pete. Those we are not going to go through updates for yet. I did kind of do an update on those in the last video, in my lighting video, so I'm not going to do another update on those ones because nothing has really changed as I'm looking at them. But I do have updates for my other Anthuriums, which I'm excited about. So there's been a few changes in my collection. This one, you know, I was going to show it to you last, but I have to show it to you first because I am so in love with these two Anthuriums. There's drastic differences, but let's start with the one in the east-facing window. Okay, so this is my Vag Lux, which is actually a Crystal Mag crossed with a Forgetii and crossed with a Lux. That was named jokingly as the Vag Lux by North Shore Tropicals, but now I think that anybody that actually owns one just calls it that. This is the newest leaf that I've gotten on this plant. It has just hardened off, and it is upsizing really well. And looking at this now, I might actually have to upsize the pot. I'll show you in just a second. But yeah, so this leaf now is like the size of my hand. And this here is the previous leaf before it. And you can still see the smaller leaves that I had on the plant for like the first little while. But this has definitely been the biggest upsize on that. And look how dark this one is. Like, I'm actually really in love with how dark it is. I didn't think it would get this dark, but it has. And now this one, like I said, has just started to harden off, and I'm already getting a new leaf. It has not switched to cataphyll growth yet, but that's okay. I'm pretty sure it's on its way. But if you look at the roots that I've got going on here, and I currently have one that's just peeking out the bottom. So yeah, I think we can definitely go for an upsize on this, and it's starting to get a little wobbly too with these two big bad boys here. So I will probably up pot it, and after this leaf comes out and hardens off. I'll wait until then because I don't want to take the chance on possibly losing it. So this is my Vag Lux number 1. Now my second one, which is in Pawn with a leca layer on the bottom. It's this one here. This is the newest leaf that I have gotten from it. Now the thing with the difference in these two was the fact that this one, look how round those leaves are. And at the time it was under a 10-watt grow light, and now it is under, it's got significantly more light now. And this leaf came out, so it is not as round, but it is still rounder than this one here. Like, look at the difference right there, not just in the size, but in the color of the leaves. I'm trying to peek around so I can see. But so this one in natural light obviously gets, you know, a higher amount of light, but look at the difference in color. Yes, but I do have to say that this is probably one of my top 5 favorite Anthuriums in my collection. I love it so much. Now, moving on to another couple that I have that are, one is in the east-facing window and one is underneath another grow light. We are going to go to my Mag Ace of Spades. So I'll start off with the one in the east-facing window, which is this one here. This is the newest leaf, and this as well has just hardened off, but there is a new leaf right here that has recently popped out and unfurled and is actually being bent by this one. I'm not exactly happy about that. I'll probably have to rotate it. But yeah, look at how dark that is. And it's the biggest leaf that I've gotten so far. And I'm in love with it. Absolutely. And completely. It still has, I could probably cut the baby leaves out of here because it was a seedling when I got it, and it's still got, you can't see those. It's really compact as well, being in that window. It is very, very compact. So I will cut off the baby leaves because they're really unnecessary. And the roots on this one, now this has just started to go absolutely bonkers in here. So I'm happy about that too. There's nothing coming out the bottom. I can see it starting to wrap around though, but this is quickly and easily one of my favorite plants too. I love the Ace of Spades. I really do. I can't wait to possibly get one. Now the thing with this though is that I know that I've seen a lot of, I think it's Magnificum green form crossed with the Ace of Spades. And I don't actually know what Magnificum Verde? Not exactly sure. But anyway, as far as I know, this is just a regular green Magnificum, or just a regular Magnificum crossed with an Ace of Spades. And it is just loving life, and it's getting some pretty serious fuzzy leaves going on there, or fuzzy leaves. It's getting some pretty serious fuzzy roots going on. So I'm really happy. You know what? I'm pretty much going to say I'm happy about almost all of the growth that I'm getting. It is May. You know, things are going the way they're supposed to be going. That they just love that east facing window. And I love it too for them. But it's still an ongoing experiment with the natural light and the grow lights. Anyway, I'm going off on a little tangent here. But yeah, so this is my first Magnificum Ace of Spades. Now, when we look at the second one, now this one is still in a smaller pot for the moment. This is under the grow lights in the plant room, and it looks dark as well. But look at the difference in the veining that I get on this one compared to this one, right? Like, look at that difference. And you'll also notice the trend that just the leaves for the ones in the window are just ending up larger. Where this one is compact, this one is leggy. But, I mean, look at the difference just right there between the two. But I love them both so much. The root system on this one as well is pretty good, and it also has a root that's trying to pop out the bottom, but it is not ready to be up potted. Not yet. But I might pull it out and just resituate it so that I don't have a bunch of roots growing out the bottom of the pot, so I'll just kind of lift it and plunk it back in. I'm safe to do that, I think, because I do not have a new leaf coming. This one is still not quite done, but just look at that. Look at those. So this is just a happy little bush over here, this one. But yeah, so those are my Mag Ace of Spades. Now, I do have two of this next plant, but I'm thoroughly unimpressed by the other one. So I'm only going to show you one. And that is the OG just Crystal Mag. So I've got cobwebs on this. I had recently a bunch of baby spiders hatch in my house. And I did hoover quite a few of them up, but I also left some of them to deal with any fungus gnats or whatever that are hanging around. But this Crystal Mag, this was the last leaf I got. There is a new one right here that has popped out, east facing window. Roots are going absolutely nuts now. I just recently uppotted this into tree fern and soil with some perlite. So it seems really happy. I'm having really good results as well. It has survived in ambient, very low humidity over the course of, I think it's done 2 winters now. But it seems to really be starting to take off. And I did upsize this recently. I think I said that, but I upsized this recently, and the roots are kind of starting to come through really nicely. So this is my Mag Ace of Spades, and that little cutie leaf right there. The petiole looks like it's going to be a decent size too. I can't wait to see what this next leaf turns out to look like. That is that one. Now we're going to get into some that are kind of weird and a little wonky. I think I have so many new Anthuriums that you guys probably don't even know about. But this one here, I just got it recently from Northern Plant Room, and this is just a dark mama cross, so it is still a tiny wee seedling. This leaf here is yellowing off. I actually hadn't had it that long, but it does have a new leaf. I don't know if you can see it. I'll have to point to it, but it's right in here. It's got a new leaf that is about to pop the sheath, and I should probably mist that before it breaks. I think I have two of the dark mama crosses. The other one is currently in the other room. There's been no changes to it yet, so I didn't bring that one out. But because this one is growing a new leaf, I wanted to share it with you. When did I get this? So I got this April 30th. Well, today's May 20th. So yeah, it's been like 3 weeks and I'm already getting a new leaf. Again, tree fern fiber and soil. And then there's, yeah, quite a bit of perlite in there too. So because it's only been a couple of weeks, oh, never mind. I was going to say I'm not seeing any like root growth, but I am currently seeing roots starting in there. It did have a fair root system when I got it, but oh yeah, there's another fuzzy one down there. But it's looking really happy, and judging by the fact that it's giving me a new leaf this soon after having it, it must be really happy. My weirdos that I've got currently going on. So this one here is my Dark Phoenix crossed with Self. Now, this leaf right here is the last leaf that came out. It doesn't actually look like it's completely hardened off yet. It's still pretty red, but I do actually now have a new leaf that has also come out of that. So it's happy, but it's also a little bit damaged. Don't know how that happened. Probably just mechanical damage. This next leaf looks like it's going to be pretty decent. And I have accumulated quite a few Dark Phoenix hybrids in my collection now. So it's nice to have this one. And the roots have just gone absolutely bonkers. Bonkers in here. There is a root coming out the bottom, and it's wrapping around the bottom as well. So I don't know, would you say it's time? Well, I'll wait until that leaf unfurls and hardens off. But yeah, this one will be up potted soon too. Now, yes, this one's wonky. There's a new one coming. This is the last leaf that came out in my care, and it actually turned out pretty good. It's pretty round though. This one I'm really stoked to see mature because I love the Dark Phoenix. I actually didn't think I would love it as much as I did until I saw a mature one, and then I was just like, wow, okay, this next one, apparently I recently watered because it is super heavy. But this one, now this one is my Anthurium No ID. So I did actually struggle with this one. Was this the second? This was the second No ID that I got. I did struggle with this one for a bit, and I'm still kind of struggling with it. Like, look at this leaf here, which is weird and weird. And then this one as well. I don't know where this damage came from. Maybe it was underwatering when it unfurled. I don't know. So yeah, maybe it was underwatering as it unfurled. I don't know what caused that, but I have recently, I did find thrips on this plant, and I did treat it. I've pretty much been treating everything kind of consistently. I do have to get another batch of beneficial mites, so that'll be next on the prevention train. But I do find that a lot of the times, I don't know, it's going to sound weird, but I try to do my pest treatments as regularly as possible, and now it's kind of like a habit and a ritual to go through and do them all, because I'll give them all like a thorough watering, I'll do their treatments, it'll be like a day thing, and I just kind of wrap everything up together in there. But this one, I thought it was really strange, maybe because there were problems with the leaves, so they were attracted to it. It doesn't take much for thrips to be attracted to anything, because then they just completely eat away at your new leaves. But they are survivable as far as pests go. As long as you can stay on top of it, you will be okay. So anyway, that is my Anthurium No ID. I have a few more to show you. Okay, so now what I have is, now hopefully somebody can explain this to me. So this is my Anthurium forgetii. I love this plant so much. But it's almost like, so this also sits in an east-facing window, but it never used to do this. So does anyone know, is it possible that it's getting too much light and it's trying to shy away from it? This is, obviously, as you can see, it's the newest leaf. It has not hardened off yet. It is literally, at this point, it is perfect. It is a perfect forgetii leaf. But if it's getting too much light, I mean, I will move it. It's just, I don't know why it just did that. I'm not sure, but the roots are absolutely going crazy in this container. I am definitely gonna have to water it. It's really, really light. But yeah, I don't know why. It just looks like it's running away. And these two actually face the window. We'll see how much bigger this one gets. The petiole is decent, so hopefully it's gonna have a nice size leaf on it. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe I should move it. I don't know, I'm confused. This one is actually two plants in one pot, and that is because I potted them up together. You were still kind of floppy, and that is my crystallinum crossed with forgetii. So there are two plants in this pot. This is the newest leaf on this plant, and this was the previous leaf. I think this one is still, well, it's not really that floppy anymore, but the second one was growing really, really weirdly, and I didn't want to wait anymore, so I just kind of potted them up together. It hasn't actually been very long. It's only been a couple of weeks. I'm not seeing any, oh yeah, okay. And I think it's actually from this main plant. I'm starting to get like some serious root growth. And I know that people are probably going to say that now they're going to compete. They're going to compete for nutrients and stuff. And I mean, may the best plant win if that's the case. We'll just see what happens. It's all a part of trying to downsize, because I did get in 6 new like Anthurium like seedlings, so I needed to make space. And I think I have 3 Anthuriums. Well, I have 6 Anthuriums, 2 of each that I want to pot together. And I think I said that previously. The only ones that I know for sure that I will not be potting up together are the Vagluxes. I want them to stay separate because they're growing so differently. But yeah, the Crystallinum crossed with Forgetii. Didn't think I needed it in my life, but I really did. So there is that one. And what do we have next? Over here, which also needs to be watered. This one dries out so quickly, but it doesn't really have, oh, I guess it does have a little bit of a root system there. And this is my Magnificum crossed with a Nigrolaminum GG. So you can see here that this new leaf has just unfurled. I do like, I mean, I'd like to see if this one's going to be darker as well, because the last time I got a new leaf, which was this one here, it was under a 10-watt grow light. So now that it's sitting in an east-facing window, I'm really, really interested to see if this one's going to get much darker. This is a really, really super perlite heavy mix. I can see that there is some tree fern fiber in there, but it's seriously heavy on the perlite. So maybe what I'll do, oh, I can't do it either. I can't do any of these because they have leaves unfurling, but I will definitely have to up pot this one too. Oh, there's a root coming out the bottom. And it's wrapping around, so I'm gonna have to put it in something a bit more dense. Like, this pot is really, really cloudy, but if you can see there kind of what I'm working with, it looks like there will be an Anthurium repot in the future. I just have to get to them before they start continuously throwing out leaves, because that's just what they're all doing right now. Now this one here, which I don't even know if I've shown you guys at all. This is my Forgetii Lux. Now this is the one I have in pawn. I do have one somewhere that is in soil. It's also interesting that I lose them like this. I don't know how I lose them, because there's only one of 3 real places that they could possibly be. I think the other one has got to be on the windowsill, but I don't think it's really done much. But anyway, this one sits under the grow lights in the plant room. This is the newest leaf. It hasn't quite hardened off yet, but it is in pawn. And I do have to say that it is probably, besides my other Vaglux, it is the only one that is doing anything remotely in pawn. Let me snip that leaf off because it is unnecessary. So now we're down to 2 leaves, but it is sitting underneath that Sansi 35-watt grow light. So hopefully, oh, I can see a root there now. One of the things that I found, I don't know how you guys do it, because in pawn, I do not see the root growth that I see when I have them either in tree fern fiber and soil, or what I used to use, my my chunky like Anthurium mix that I used to use all the time. I don't use that quite so much anymore because I love the tree fern fiber. Yeah, but this is my tiny little Forgetii Lux. Now I'm hoping, I don't know if it will, but it would be really amazing if I could get a fused sinus on a Lux hybrid. I've got 2 of them, so let's hope that that is the case and that actually happens. I'm gonna have to check and see if anybody has actually had that happen. I haven't looked. I'm terrible with that. But yeah, so my Forgetii Lux. Now we'll move on to one that you guys have not seen that is also new that I got from Northern Plant Room recently, and that is my Forgetii crossed with a Bessier Af. I just got this one April 30th as well, and it is, there is a new leaf. Oh, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because it's so tiny. So there's a new leaf that is coming out there. And again, I've had this one about 3 weeks. It sits in the plant room under a grow light, and it is very happy. Very, very happy. And I have also lost the other one of these I have. I have two of them. Two of them. I think what happened was I got 2 of the Forgetii Bessiers, and then I got 4 of the Dark Mama Crosses. But yes, so this one has got a new leaf coming. I don't know where the other one is. I will have to find it and find out exactly how that one is doing. I do have a Dark Mama in pawn up there, but it's not doing anything yet, so I can't wait to see what that little leaf looks like. I can't wait to see these mature. This is one of the things I love so much about working with seedlings, is watching them grow and change. That makes me so much more interested in the Anthuriums because of the fact that they can change so drastically. It is always a surprise. Now this one here, this is my Mag Pappy. I had 2, what I call them the stowaways. I had 2 stowaway seeds in the batch of these that I got. And these are them. I even labeled them the stowaways. They've got names. So there's 2 plants in here, and it took a little while for them to start doing anything. I think that putting them in this big of a vessel so soon was probably not the best idea. But I can say that you can see just down here starting to reach into the reservoir is a root. I'm pretty sure it's from this main plant here that's got the new leaf on it. It'll be interesting to see how these ones grow because they are Mag Pappies. So I'm surprised. I have a lot of Pappy hybrids now too. I don't know how that happened, but I am a sucker. I'm a sucker for the live sales. I am a sucker for seedling offers. Like, take my money, because that's what ends up happening with me. But yeah, this one is, as you can see, I do have a leca layer at the bottom of the tree fern fiber, soil, and perlite. And it seems it's pretty happy. It does sit in the east facing window as well. So my objective is pretty much to show, just because I'm doing this whole thing with light right now, one of the biggest things I want to show is just the difference in size, color, compactness, just the aggressiveness of the growth. I mean, I don't have them in a south or a west facing window, which is, you know, where you're going to kind of get the strongest light. Like, these guys get morning light. And it's actually shaded by, I've got like trees out front. There are trees outside of this window that just make the light dappling. Like, if they get direct sunlight at all, it's as it's passing to the south and going behind the house. And that's all they get. And the Anthuriums are not the only ones in that window that are doing so well there. So this isn't just an experiment that's going to, you know, be over really quickly. This is going to be tracked, I think, over the course of a year. I think that for now, I'm going to wrap up the updates that I have for you. I did want to make sure, like I said in the beginning, I wanted to make sure I showed you a couple of the plants that you probably didn't know I had yet. And I wanted to show you some of the differences between the plants there. And you know, this hobby is always a learning experience. You're always growing in this hobby. There's always so much more to learn. Anyway, that being said, I hope you are all safe and well. Please like and consider subscribing to my channel. Leave any comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.